Today we're making a pea puree. Yep, sounds pretty simple, maybe boring, but I promise you this is not boring. Pea puree is so much more than just a little swivel on a plate underneath a piece of fish. I love it for a dip, a different dip other than hummus that is plant-based, or I love to smear it on toast. I am telling you right now, pea puree is the new avocado toast. I think they call it smashed pea toast. Regardless, delicious. And then I also love it underneath fish, underneath protein, of course. We've all seen it at a restaurant before. I don't know if you've ever tried a puree before at home, but in my opinion, it never really turns out like the restaurant purees. And I have a trick so that you can get the absolute smoothest and creamiest, velvetiest, is that a word? Puree possible. So let's go do it. Really quickly before we get started, the flavor notes of this. I do use lemon. I love lemon and the pea together. I am not using garlic, so this is more of a bright, gardeny, vegetal, sweet kind of puree. If you want this to be a little more savory, feel free to add some garlic and some onion into the boiling water with the peas, and then you can blend it all together. In my opinion, that's more of a pea soup. For a puree, I want the peas to be the star of the show, so we are just jazzing it up with some salt and some lemon. If you don't like lemon, feel free to leave that out and just do simple peas and salt. But don't forget the salt. If you don't add salt, it's gonna be devastating. You can also add a little bit of sugar while you're boiling them. I try to opt out of that, but you can do whatever you want. That is the magic here, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Before I take you to the stove, I would absolutely love it if you could subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you! So I'm just gonna bring some water to a boil and add some salt. For this recipe, I'm using frozen peas, literally straight from the bag, and they are going to boil super quickly. Let's let these boil for a few minutes, and I'm gonna go fill this with really cold water. See, I've got a bowl here. We're just going to put them in here. The key here is we want these peas to be a bright green, not an olive green, that they will overcook and be sad if they begin to turn into olive green peas. And that's not what we want. We want a bright green pea puree. All right, so put the peas in some cold water. This is probably the ugliest shot I've ever filmed, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Instead of an ice bath, this is just what I'm doing because sometimes I don't have ice. Most of the time I don't have ice, and that's just the way it is. And I just move them around with my hand, get all the heat out, chill them as soon as possible. I'm gonna add all of my peas, except for half a cup for topping. Some salt. We're gonna add some lemon juice. Some lemon zest as well. I've already pre-zested, so I'm gonna give a little bit of assistance. Let's do some olive oil. All right, so this is what we got in here. Baby food. I am totally fine serving it like this, but if you want super restaurant quality creamy puree, please hold. All right, so if you want super duper duper creamy puree, run it through a mesh strainer. I don't think this is necessary at all, but it really does help you get rid of any bits that are just a little, see how it's a little grainy here? This just helps it get really nice and smooth, and we're getting rid of any chunks at all. And just keep doing it. I do this pretty quickly. Also, I would definitely benefit from having a larger mesh strainer. So if you have a bigger one, that is definitely the way to go. You just pour your puree in a bowl or put it on toast. Do whatever you want, and the puree is done. The puree is done. There's some leftover peas in the center. It's like a hummus. We're like basically making a hummus. So there you go. Olive oil drizzle. A little pep. Some Parmesan cheese. Topped it with some parsley. There you go. I've been literally eating this by the spoonful. And with the fresh herbs on there, it is so good. And then finally, I mean, I'm gonna go play with this puree all day. Puree all day, baby. But I love the toast. And this toast in particular is one of my favorites to make with a pea puree. I topped it with some feta, some shallots, parsley, fresh cracked black pepper, and some peas. I am salivating just talking about this. Enough talking. I'm gonna just eat my toast now. This has been hanging out. I did take some photos of it. This is delicious. Whether it's with carrots, with bread, with a tostada, you can probably put pasta in this puree. Do that and then add some ricotta. Yum. So delicious. No matter what, this puree tastes great. And that's why I wanted to show you the recipe, because you can use it to jazz anything up. I would love to know what you would put in the pea puree in the comments below, or just let me know what you want me to make next time. I hope you liked this recipe, and you can get the recipe for the toast and the puree down in the description box. I am just making some weird hand motions. Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye. Ooh, yum, yum, yum.